In today's video, we're gonna look at the 5th round of James Toney versus Montel Griffin. I got a chance to rewatch this fight recently, and I was really just blown away with the quality of inside fighting and tactics in this round. I'm gonna talk about it. We'll speed things up, slow things down, stop them. I'll try to use my knowledge to help your eyes, and hopefully you can learn something that'll give you success when you fight. So beginning here, Montel Griffin, coached by Eddie Futch, knows how to use the half guard, low guard, high guard, cross guard. Very, very talented fighter. He ends up winning this fight by decision. Right off the bat, you can see them really weaponizing, using their backs as a shield, both Griffin and Toney. And when they get to the inside here, you can see James Toney testing the locks. You know, try the window, try the door, try the garage. He's trying to see if something's unlocked, something's loose, so that he can get in there and do some damage. Touch, 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 touch. And right there's a beautiful moment where you can see, if we go slow here, the second that Toney has Montel throw that three and open up, he goes high and low with his own three, trying to get to his center line. You can also see something I talk about a lot. Your first line of defense at every distance is distance, and Toney just steps right away from this long three, and they get right back to it. Good, beautiful little drop step there, meeting Toney, and you can see these nice little short shots from both of them. You can see this first short shot here, testing, hitting, framing, hipping out to create space, trying to smother that space, hitting, hitting. None of these are so committed that either of them are giving each other enough room to land a big shot. We talk about this a lot when it comes to inside work. We talked about the 3 things you want to pay attention to on the inside. Get your head to a safe position, create traffic on their arms, and create space on your terms. And you guys have heard me say before, if I could come up with a 4th thing, it would be small punch, big punch, light punch, hard punch. That's the idea. Try to set your shots up because it's tough and it's risky to create enough space for one large shot. Testing the locks, both of them. Looking for opportunities. And you can see this beautiful traffic from Montel here, where he's got constant pressure on Toney's right arm, and he pulls himself away using that left arm frame to create space for him to open with his right hand. Generally, it's been the 6. Good, and the second there's room, you can see they use it. Another really, really nice moment here, if I go back. Good. So just because space exists doesn't mean you have to use it. Throwing that first punch gives your opponent an opportunity to catch and pitch and get a shot through. We saw Montel Griffin do that to James Toney earlier. So if we watch here slowly, you can see Montel uses his head to create space. And then when that space is created, he's waiting for a shot from Toney. He's waiting for a shot from Toney because he's looking for an opportunity to throw. When Toney throws that 3, Montel steps over and tries to get his own shot off. He's trying to hit Toney with the same thing that Toney hit him with earlier. When Toney throws that 3, he squares up to the 3 from his opponent. They could trade potentially. Montel comes through and it falls just a little bit short. Neither of them really land any good quality shots here, but Toney takes the initiative as Montel tries to smother in. Because we talk, you create space, you close space. That's basically an exit strategy on the inside. You close off that exchange. James Toney walks over to his open side, lets Montel pass through like the matador, and he throws that right hand over the shoulder. And that's a good quality punch right behind the ear. So if we look at this whole thing again, we can see Montel's looking for space, tries the 3. James Toney takes the angle and hits him over the shoulder. Really, really, really nice work. This is a good inside sequence. Let's keep this going. We're gonna see a lot of this from Montel, where he throws that three from on the line. He's short, he's got long arms. Like a Frazier, he can get away more often than not with throwing that three. But the problem with throwing that hook on the line is if it lands, it's gonna be slappy and it's got a big windup. It's got a tell. So you can see right here, Montel throws that three, but James Toney can see it a mile away. He can see that shot coming because of the windup. Touches the body, switches sides, and again, he's ready for that three proactively the second time it comes around. You can really clearly see those little punches into big punches. James Toney throws the 6-3, James Toney throws the 4-3, and James Toney does something that I talk about all the time, which is this concept I always imagine when I'm working on the inside of hunting for shoulders. That shoulder's like a checkpoint. It's like a safe position that you can get to, and you can see right here, right shoulder, left shoulder. Right shoulder, left shoulder. He's hunting for positions, hunting for a more advantageous angle to attack from. Testing the locks, and we got double cross guard here. Don't see that very often, but we talk a lot. The guard guards. At any given moment, the appropriate guard to use is whatever protects you, whatever creates traffic, whatever gets the job done. And you can see cross guard, high guard. Even though James Toney is known as a half guard practitioner and specialist, he recognizes when it's appropriate to throw that high guard up. I think a lot of amateurs fall into the trap where they think using their guard is amateurish. It's not. Look at Bivol, all right? Look at Beterbiev, look at Triple G, look at Chavez. I was watching a fight yesterday that had a really good high guard practitioner in it. Spence. That high guard is just a tool that gets the job done. It's up to the user of that tool to make it look high level or make it look amateurish. And you can see, we talk a lot, at the amateur level, boxing is a lot about hit and don't get hit. At the pro level, it's about damage and don't get damaged. So both of these guys are catching shots here, but neither of them's taking any damage. They're rolling with the shot, they're using their shoulder and their framing to make it a bad shot or to take the sting off of it. They're meeting it with their forehead. These guys know how to work and not give somebody room to hit them flush and clean with a big, powerful, damaging shot. Very high level stuff. And that's why it's so important to use small shots to set up big shots, like you see both of these wonderful fighters doing here. Another cross guard work. Testing the locks. And right there, that moment especially, I really, really like, because you can see really clearly what I'm talking about here, where they're creating traffic. It almost looks like traditional martial arts where they're doing push hands, where one person's hand moves and the other person's pulls and pushes and they keep contact. You can really see that here on the inside as their near side hands to us kind of swivel and swing around each other to keep that appropriate pressure while they're hunting for a weakness, they're hunting for an opening. You can also see James Toney using his right shoulder to block off the path of shots here. You don't have to use your lead shoulder. You can use your lead shoulder, you can use your rear shoulder. Again, it's traffic, and traffic can be anything. So you can see James Toney slides his head over and he tucks that right shoulder so that when Montel throws that three, which really seems to be his money punch in this round, the one that he's really trying for, it slides across his back and off the back of his head and neck and doesn't hit him with any authority. James Toney wakes up at the end here, starts fighting to create a little bit more space, and you can see the moment right there. He gets his hips under him, creates a little bit of room, and then all of a sudden a middle distance fight erupts where he lands a really nice three at the end of that round. And that's what they were denying each other for the whole round leading up to this. where James Toney had hurt Montel a couple times with big punches, and Montel was definitely getting the better of James Toney on the outside using his jab. So because of that, they both kind of consented to this inside fight in the 5th round, where Toney's losing the outfight, Montel's getting hurt in the middle distance, so they both consent to this inside fight. It's important to remember that to get an in-fight, you either need to corner the person and force it, or you both need to agree to it. You can't just chase somebody around and make an in-fight happen if they don't want to fight on the inside. That's the end of this round. This whole fight is excellent, and all of the rounds are strewn with great high-level moments if you have the eyes to see them. Hopefully I've given you guys an inroad into being able to do that, and I would encourage you to watch this fight in its entirety. I hope I helped you out today, and I hope when you do your homework and watch this fight, you can learn something new to add some wrinkles and some depth to your game so you can succeed when you fight.